Can awareness really be the key to success? I was in a coaching call last night, and one of the people that were being coached said that they wanted to live a healthier lifestyle. They wanted to drop weight. They wanted to pay attention to their calories. They wanted to exercise more. And they actually asked the group for help in holding them accountable to this objective. Fast forward 5 or 10 minutes into the conversation, the coach asked this individual, do you really know what your priorities are? And they asked the individual, what are your 3 priorities? And the individual said, my 3 priorities are connection, because I want to keep a strong connection with my kids and my parents. I want to leave my W-2, and I want to invest in more real estate in order for me to leave my W-2. I want to build out my real estate investments. The coach then asked that individual, you just went on and on and on about a healthy lifestyle and becoming more fit. Did you drop that priority in the time that we've had the conversation? The person was like a deer in headlights. They didn't even realize that they dropped that priority when asked, what are your 3 priorities? They were operating out of automaticity. Harvard says we spend about 50% of our day, a study out of Harvard, 50% of our day in autopilot. And this is a great example of that. So I wanted to talk about awareness, give you a couple of ways I become aware, and I've learned to become aware, and share a staggering stat that was, not a stat, a formula, I guess, a staggering formula that was shared with me. That formula is, I want you to think about somebody that you really love. And a lot of times this happens with parents. When they ask me about my parents, and both my parents have passed, so they went to my siblings. I'm one of 9, and I'm the youngest of 9. They asked about my siblings, and they said, how often do you see your siblings? I said, I don't see them very often. We all live in different states. So I might see, like, my closest sister, I might see her 3 times a year. They said, all right. How old's your sister? I said, well, I'm 53. She's about 60. Okay, so the average lifespan's 80 years. So you have another 20 years with your sister, right? I was like, yeah, I guess. That sounds about right. And he said, but you only see your sister 3 times a year. So you only have 60 more visits with your sister. You don't have 20 years with your sister. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. And then he took it a step further. He said, I want you to think about your own life and becoming aware of what you're doing day to day. Because that average lifespan to 80 years, I'm 53 right now. 80 minus 53 gives me 27 years. 27 times 365 days only comes out to 9,800 days. You see, 27 years seems like a really long time. But when you think about it in days, 9,800 days. And guys, if you ever saw the video on 168 hours, we all have 168 hours in a week. When you break those hours down, you really only have 35 hours or so to actually work on your objectives outside of the 40 hours of physical work, right? Like, we all go to work 40 hours a week. You only have 35 discretionary hours. When you break those days, those 9,800 days into hours, I didn't do the math, but that's an amazing thought. So just becoming aware of that and knowing the urgency behind it is an amazing thing. So how do you become more aware? I take a book out of my combative arts training, Slow is Smooth, Smooth is Fast. We tell the lower belts are always trying to be as fast as the higher belts. And the higher belts aren't really that much faster. They just operate in a smoother manner. So we tell the lower belts, slow the process down, become aware of what you're doing, become aware of the nuances, become aware of the footwork and the hand placement, how you're gripping, how you're reacting, how you're responding to the threat. And as you become aware, you start learning the placement of your feet, the placement of your hands, and then you move into automaticity or operating in autopilot. This is a great example of using autopilot, that 50% of the day we spend in autopilot. It's a great example of using autopilot or muscle memory to our advantage. It's something that we naturally do. Use it to our advantage. Live in the present moment. Like literally take care of yourself. This is more self-care. This is more slowing things down and living in the moment. One of the best ways I do this is right here on hikes. This is why I'm doubling down here. I'm kind of shooting two birds with one stone. I'm getting my video in and I'm getting my hike in. Living in the present moment. Meditation. I know there's a negative connotation around meditation. Meditation is really about just bringing your mind back to what you're concentrating on. There's a meditation video I do. It's going right here. And go take a look at that, because if you're the person that says, meditation isn't for me, I can't sit still for more than 5 seconds, you're the perfect candidate. I know I was the perfect candidate. I'm going to try and do that. I know I was the perfect candidate. My leg would tap. I'd be thinking about the grocery list and the yard work I had to do, and the kids had to get picked up from school, all of that stuff. And when I realized what the true meaning of meditation was, and the true purpose of meditation was just to train my mind to stay focused on what I tell it to stay focused on. And it's okay when it runs off. It's okay, across the street here, it's okay when it runs off, because the purpose of meditation is to bring your mind back to what you're concentrating on, to what you're focusing on. It teaches your mind that in a controlled atmosphere. So in daily life, you can do it. What else? Self-care. Truly listening. When you're in a conversation, be present. Truly listen to what the person's saying. Truly hear them. Be a good listener. Awareness for things that are new. When you want to adopt a new behavior, when you want to adopt a new habit, a lot of times automaticity takes over. We're going to turn around, because the sun's behind me, we're going to turn around and make the sun go in front of us. Automaticity happens. It takes over. Set reminders. Use your phone to set reminders. I'm looking to be more aware in this scenario. I show you my post that I have hanging around my house when I was looking to learn and use leverage much more. Use post-its all over the place on everything you want to become more aware of. When you're doing something old, when you want to become aware of something old, check the mailbox now. When you want to become aware of something old, a habit that you have that you want to absolutely crush and destroy, set reminders for that too. Ask yourself, what am I truly looking to do here? Why am I doing this here now? Hi, how are you? And when you do that, you bring it to the forefront. You're taking yourself out of automaticity and you're putting yourself into intentionality. And awareness is really about intentionality. It's about understanding, not even understanding, it's just about being aware that you're taking a certain action at a certain moment. One of the biggest keys to my success has been when I've been much more present in life. And I've gained being much more present in life by really slowing things down, really making time for myself, making time for me. It's about getting outdoors. Some people like reading, some people like cooking, some people like going for massages. Doesn't really matter. But what is it for you that brings calmness over you so that you can then take that calmness and bring it to each and every day in each and every experience and situation? Guys, you know we live up top in the numerator, not down in the denominator. It's always results over excuses. Go out there today and absolutely be unstoppable and crush your day. I love spending time with you. Get out there and crush it. Have a blessed day.